and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lante Oriente. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the
Yes, my people, a very good evening to you all. Greetings to you. This is the Comrade Show, and of course, I'm here with the Musketeers. This segment is called the Comrade and Friends. And please, if you are joining us, help share the broadcast. I already see Chris Usagi right with us. God bless you, Chris. Happy New Year to you and Iselogbe. Please, let's get some numbers together. I have the Comrade and Friends in the house to help us do justice to some of the matters that have, made headlines in recent time. And of course, you know that this year is just beginning. And of course, we want to take a look at some issues all around across board. Of course, from the issue of Edo State security. Of course, we're going to do some appraisal, of that. Of course, we're going to look at one trending issue, trending on social media and everywhere, and even mainstream media as of today. And that is the issue that has to do with the man who got married to a woman was working in a bank, and of course, some children. They had some children together, and only later for the man to understand that, based on the woman's information, as alleged, that the man is no longer the father of the children, or was never the father of the children. Such controversies and so many other things all around. We're going to be looking at all of them, and of course, the lighting up, Edo State Together project is equally another matter I want to take a look at. I see a lot of people coming online already. Frank Edomande, God bless you. Kelly John, God bless you. Joe Isoken, thank you so much. Usagi Egbunisun, thank you so very much. Please, let's share the broadcast. Let's get some numbers together. It is the Comrade and Friends.
Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lante Oriente. Live on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, on that note, I quickly want to, bring on board the Comrade and the Friends. Of course, I have with us, as always, one of the Musketeers. Dr. Agbons, you want to say hello to the people, please?
Yes, so, Comrade Lante, Happy New Year to you. Our people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us from the world. Happy New Year. Welcome to the Comrade and Friends show.
Thank you very much. That's Dr. Tony Agbons. You all know him. He's one of the Musketeers. We are three. Of course, I equally have in the house pharmacist Austin Iremiran. Austin, please talk to the people.
Hello, my people. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. Thank you for joining us again as we discuss issues affecting our country, our state, and also issues that borders on morality. God bless you, my people, and thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you very much, Austin Iremiran. Like I said, we have a lot of matters to talk about, interesting matters. For the Edo security matter, we're going to come up with that matter. We have more information about that matter. Please share the broadcast. Let everybody, I'm talking about, when I mean Edo security, I'm talking of the issue that led to the escape of hoodlums, kidnappers, armed robbers, and all that in the custody of the state CID unit of the Nigerian police. Of course, they escaped, this morning. Of course, we're going to give us more details about that. Yeah, please share the broadcast. Felicia Boybo, I see you. Very good evening to you. God bless you. Happy New Year to you, Charles Ibadan. Isaiah Sabo Orobosa. God bless you. Happy New Year to you. Yes, Sarah Igbini Jesu. Thank you so very much for joining. Sonny, come on. Greetings to you. Buenos tardes, amigo. Y feliz año nuevo. God bless you so much. Rita Flores or Sevek, thank you so very much. Omo Joshua, I see you. Let's share the broadcast. Let's get the number together. Then we roll as we always do. Evangelist Michael, thank you for joining us. Happy Sunday to you. God bless you and a happy new year to you and everybody. On this note, I want to quickly break on my brother Austin Iremira. He has the first story to open the floor. Austin, please, the button is over to you.
Thank you so much, my brother, Comrade Lampton, and welcome to you, my brothers Tony and our viewers. Today, I'm very interested in this story that has been trending all over social media, and it borders more on morality. There's an issue of death, and also it has to do with children being involved. It is no longer news, as many of us would have read, that about 3 weeks ago, we had the death of a gentleman called Mr. Tunde Thomas, also or fondly referred to by his friends as Tunde Gentle, who sadly passed away on the 15th of December 2020 and was subsequently buried on the 30th of December 2020. The story has it that Mr. Thomas, Tunde Thomas, was married to a lady called Moyo Thomas as well, and they lived happily together, and they had two children. But unknown to Mr. Tunde Thomas, he wasn't aware that the wife, Moyo, was having an affair, alleged according to reports that is well spread in the office of the First City Monument Bank. Affair with his boss, who happened to be the MD of First City Monument Bank. And it's the fact that this relationship was well known of the bank. Mr. Tunde Thomas was not aware of this at all. And sometimes around 2007, Mrs. Moyo Thomas on one of her holidays went to the US and then never came back. Of course, probably that was part of the ploy. And from the US, he informed his husband, Mr. Tunde Thomas, that the two children involved in their marriage was not it. And it's alleged that while she was in the US, she was planning to get all the full papers to make the children citizens and also ban Mr. Tunde Thomas from coming to the US. And it's also alleged that Mr. Tunde Thomas never recovered upon hearing the story. He tried to move his life on. It's also reported that he started the relationship and was planning to get married, I think, in 2021, when the sad event of his death took place. The autopsy revealed that Mr. Tunde Thomas, aka Tunde Gentle, subsequently died of heart failure. This has been trending, and I think for me it's particularly important because, like I said in the intro, children are involved. We've lost a life, a 45-year-old man who's got so much to have to offer as he being alive. And also too, it involved the MD of the First City Monument Bank. Meanwhile, it was also reported that Mr. Tunde Thomas was at one time a member of the defunct Oceanic Bank. So there are plaguing issues, both legal, moral, and of course, mental issues as well, that I would like my comrades and all of us to discuss. What happened to the fate of the children? I understand the first age. I'm not quite sure of how old the second is. And what happens to in terms of morality and standing as it relates to Mrs. Moyo Thomas and of course Mr. Adam Nuru, who happens to be the MD of First City Monument Bank. So I just look at this issue once more and see how we can advise the public on things we need to do, especially relationships, extramarital relationships that sometimes are not very genuine. I understand that Mr. Adam Nuru might be a Muslim where he's entitled to marry as many wives as possible. To get another one as a proper process. Is that right? What does the African culture say about it? Painfully, somebody is dead. And And will those children ever recognize or appreciate or think that Mr. Adam Nuru is their father? These are trading issues. It's been discussed in different corners, and I felt it would be good for us to bring it to Comrade Show so that we can talk about it and also use the opportunity to educate our viewers and in what at large that we should be very careful of our relationship. So I would want to call on my brother Tony. I understand that First City Monument Bank, from latest report, are taking some urgent steps to look at the matter. But this matter has been on since 2017. Probably maybe they never heard about it until the death of Mr. Tunde Thomas. What is your take, Tony?
Yeah. Thank you very much for your preamble, Pharmacist Austin. In fact, I have read this report. It's been trending, like you said, in both the print and social media over this week. To be honest, I'm personally taken aback. And what I see in this matter is the level of moral bankruptcy that we have in our society today. There's a lot that has gone wrong with how we value morality and how we react to it. This is so unfortunate because, sadly enough, uh, Mr. Tunde Thomas, because of this issue, has lost his life of a heart attack. So, as a society, what can we learn from this? We need to return back to sound moral values, where we know that having fun cannot be equated to having a good life. I wouldn't say that it was for economic reasons that Mrs. Moyo Thomas got into this, because from your preamble, you highlighted that even the husband, the legal husband, was at some point in time also working with the Osheni Bank, which is a financial institution. I have a lot of friends who work in the banks. And there was a time in the banking industry in Nigeria where young girls were being recruited as marketers. And I'm sure we all remember that time, where they were given huge targets. They need to bring money into the bank. And we were aware that some young men, some young ladies had to, have affairs with customers, with businessmen to bring money in. But what makes this one really sad is that Mr. Nuru, or Nuru, as we call him, was a top man in the bank. So I see here, what I see here is that while we blame Mrs. Moyo Thomas, we also need to, shoot some arrows at the direction of this very wicked MD. This is part of what do they call it again? Now I try to remember. This is sexual harassment that was successful. So both Mrs. Moyo and this MD, Mr. Nu, they are culpable for what has happened, and it is a sad, very sad, very sad on our moral fabric that this kind of thing can go on. But having said that, I also want to say that there are so many of these kind of relationships that are also going on, which may not have yielded children. Because this one now came out because children have come out of it. I can say categorically that there are a lot of this kind of thing going on that haven't yielded children. Married women, married men just frolicking with each other and in offices and all over the place. It is not a very good thing. That is my take for now.
Thank you so much, my brother Tony, and for that very incisive input into the current issue. It is sad, you made a mistake once, you didn't learn your lesson, you went again for the second one, and that is causing lots and lots of issues. Just before I come to Comrade, I know you are a very consummate and a serious family man. You have young children yourself. Looking at this situation, I want you to zero in. What becomes the fate of these children? They've been known to Tunde Thomas as their dad, and information reports that he showed lots of love, he pampered them, and the children are really in love with him. And now they've lost him sadly, and they will be told now that the father they used to know wasn't their father, they have a new one. How do you see that? I want you to zero in on what impact will this have on the children.
Yes, thank you very much, my brother Austin. First, it's probably very difficult for anybody who has not been in this kind of a situation to be able to give proper assessment of what it will be to the children. Definitely, it's going to be heartbreaking. And again, any woman who can do a thing like this, if this is true, okay, I must add that if this story is true altogether, any woman who has the capacity to be able to do things like this have the capacity to do a lot of things. The woman too will have the capacity to be able to manage the situation well for her children in a way that, I mean, look at the children's age. They said the elder one is 8 years old. This child, I can tell you, if this story is true, this child is still very, very well under the manipulation of the mother. Okay, which means that the impact that may be seen publicly may not be the same impact on the child, because this child may have been under very serious manipulations even before this saga, as it were. But zeroing out of that a bit, I like to state that I'll make my contributions cautiously. Cautiously, because just early this morning, I read in some papers that some persons in the guise of friends of Tunde had come out to say that the story in itself is not true, and that's a fabrication, and it was this, it was that. You understand the picture I'm saying? However, the story itself is valid. Whether it is true or it's not true, it's valid because things like this actually happen. They actually happen. As a matter of fact, I was having a chat with my wife this morning on this particular story. You know, we're talking about it, and one of the things that she herself thought was okay was that probably it is necessary for you know, DNA testing and all those things to be made cheap and available for everybody, so that you know, people can easily just go for paternity tests, as it were, when they are having children, and you know, even when children get grown up and they really want to ascertain some things and all of that, because this is big. And I extend to agree with her, you know, largely, because the truth remains that there are so many people right now, some grown up, some even die without even knowing, you know, that the fathers they call their fathers until they die, until they grow up, they are not actually their fathers. There are people, I remember when my father was alive, though, they used to tell us that very often, you know, you find out that the eldest children of many men are not actually the biological children of those men, because sometimes the woman may have been having affairs here and there before they get married, and you know, sometimes they get married not already knowing that, with the man already knowing that this one is already pregnant, for whom she cannot, you know, say this and that. So we've seen situations like this, you know, regularly, and it is not good. You know, I'm not speaking right now to the point where it's alleged that this woman traveled to the US and tried to do everything to make sure that Tunde, you know, does not have access to the children. I'm not speaking from that point of view. You know, I'm speaking. There are even cases where the people involved, the characters involved, nobody can actually travel out. They get to find out that, oh man, oh, somebody's got 2 children or 3 children or 4 children, and as a matter of fact, in some cases, none of the children are his, and all that. So it creates a whole lot of mental problem. You know, it creates a lot of, you know, mental health, you know, issues. It's very challenging. If the story is true, I just cannot imagine how, you know, how much torment, you know, this young man had to go through, okay, before he eventually died. Of course, the issue of in the banking sector and what they do with our young women and all of that is another story altogether, as it were. And I think I'll stop there for now. Probably when if I'm going to contribute again, then I have some other things to say with respect to this. Over to you, Austin Eremira.
Thank you, comrade. I will come back to you just once more before we wrap up. But I will go back again to my brother Tony. Like Lampton said, we cannot verify for sure the veracity of this story. But being that is trending everywhere, there might be some element of. But even if we look as there's always one or two lessons also to be learned. We're already giving to our course of this program. But my brother Tony, I just want to look at the perspective of Tunde Thomas family. Looking at the impact, they've lost their son. What can be done? What can they do legally? What is the implication to their family? I want to look at two angles. What can they do legally, and what is the implication of his death in this scenario as a family?
Thank you, Austin, for your very good question. It's for the family, my condolence, like Lamte said, this whole story, whether it's true or not or whatever, but one thing that we cannot take away is that somebody has died in this whole process. So for the family, my condolences to them. I think they are going to be really traumatized. The trauma they will be going through now, because deceit is always something very painful. Legally, I'm not a lawyer, but from my common knowledge, I think there is nothing really the family can do, because if Tunde Thomas was alive, probably he will have a lot to do. I think it is now for society to learn some lessons, and everyone has to keep his eye on the ball and be very, very proactive, because the human mind is very deceitful and nobody can know it, like the Holy Book said. So that is what I have to advise that people, when we go into relationship, we need to keep our eyes open all the time. Don't take your eyes off the ball, and look for telltales and signals. And I'm not saying that we should start doing track and trace over our partners or wives or husbands, but we need to be very, very proactive instead of reactive. So because I'm sure this is just my own postulation. I'm sure that Tunde may have been seeing some signs and signals, um, from the wife, but I didn't really take note of. And the same thing, like, I don't want to just keep hammering on our female gender. Even men, a lot of men who also have children outside their matrimonial home as well. Because the truth of the matter is that if a man wants to have an extra wife, just do it in the open. Do it in the open. So this kind of deceit, for me, it's not. Palatable at all, because certain cultures from where we come from, they allow people to have 2 or 3 wives or 4, if that is what they want to do, culturally and even religiously, they are permitted to do it. So if that is what somebody wants to do, he can go as well and do. So I'm just talking on both sides of the divide. But again, my real condolence to the family of Thomas.
Thank you so much, my brother.
We cannot hear you. Something may be wrong with the
audio. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, it's better, yes.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes.
Yes, so I was saying that, Comrade Lampton, I'm just going to logically put you on the spot. Sometimes what I want to ask is somewhat related, but also not related. Most people have alleged that African men, especially Nigerians and indeed Edos, are polygamous in nature. I know this is a wide question. What is your view on that?
Can you be a bit loud, Austin? I hardly hear you really. It looks like your network may not be helping a lot.
What I was saying, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
My question was, I was trying to ask you, most people have argued that Africans, especially Nigerians and maybe Edo men, are polygamous in nature. What is your take? Just for 2 minutes.
Well, well, this is really putting me on the spot. I don't want to be political. I will be very objective. Okay, every man created by God is polygamous in nature. Every man. It's not just it has no need really to do specially with Edo people. Okay, every man created by God is polygamous in nature. However, the world we live in is such that we have seen, we've practiced polygamy long enough to understand that, oh, this may not be, overall, beneficial to the kind of system we like. And so somehow society has drifted away from that practice, more or less, to a very large extent. And that people, have drifted, deliberately, drifted away from the idea of polygamy, to understand that, it's important to live with one wife, have children, because of some attendant consequences that some of our ancestors, did experience with polygamy, okay? They've all got their advantages and their very disadvantages, you understand? But societally, from what we have seen, overall, it looked increasingly like having having one wife and of course children from one woman appear somewhat more beneficial to everybody, society, and of course those practicing it. And again, life is constantly changing. Arguments, adjustments are constantly being made. What was right yesterday, some of them today are no longer right. What was wrong yesterday, today some of them have become right. And so there's been a lot of shift here and there, okay? But the average Edo person, the average Edo culture still demands certain things, okay? Apart from the issue of maybe polygamy as it were, but the average Edo culture still demand that there should be some level of sanctity attached to marriage as it were. And this is where this discourse is mostly centered around. I am sure that if Tunde was polygamous, this situation was still not going to help him as such, as it were. I don't know how much of help is going to be, because having to raise some children to the age of 8, probably the other one is going to be 6 or 5 as it were. And these are the children you've known, like you've invested so much in, and all of a sudden, one woman just come up with the idea to say, this one, they are no longer your children, because she's privileged to be a woman, to determine who your children are, and who, and all of those kind of things. Morally, it is not right. You understand what I'm saying now? And again, that speaks to the question of immorality here. The idea that a woman is married and she finds pleasure, in committing adultery, as it were. It's a very difficult situation. This morning, I did raise an issue, okay? And of course, I had some discourse around that issue with my wife. I had a debate with her. And what I raised was that the man, what's it called? Is it who they call him? The man, the bank manager or whatever he is, for me, shares less blame. In this particular matter, if this story is true to the extent to which it's been flying. The reason why I say so is that, one, the man of course has his blame, but has less, because I am very sure that in the process of their entanglement, in the process of having to chase each other around and all of that, if the woman had said no, I am sure that we will not have this story that we are having today. Okay, except that the woman was raped, which I am sure wasn't the case. You cannot be raped to have a child and raped again under the same circumstance to have a second child. And you have raised these children to the age of 8 and probably 6 or 5 or 4 as the case may be. before you now break the news to the man who's been fathering these children to say you are not their father. It is one bank manager who is their father. So I think that for us to have very strong sanctity of marriage, particularly what has to do with fornication and adultery. I think that our women have a lot of role to play in that direction. It's important because if you look at it, men don't give birth to children. It is the women who give birth to children, as it were. I'm not making excuses for men. It's not good for either party. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if people commit themselves to each other, okay, it should be like that. Okay, but if you look at it, the overall consequence of corruption gets blown out, gets to be known by the time a woman becomes pregnant for another person. You understand what I'm saying? And all that. So I think that's basically a lot of it. I mean, the issue around it, finding the level of something that we require to keep our marriage, what it's supposed to be, as it were. That would be my take, my brother.
Thank you so much, my brother Lamte and Tony, for your contributions. This topic is very apt and it's taking a lot of our time today, and I think our viewers would have learned one or two. To conclude, I would say that marriage is not by force, it's a commitment. And for us still alive, if we go into it, let us try to fulfill the demands and the responsibility that marriage brings. In that regard, it will become sweet and better for the people involved and for the children. It also draws something very important: morality. Or let us always try to be moral. All we do in our family and even in our friendship. And in the course of our conversation, I feel a very serious issue, which I think we have to talk about, is this issue of DNA testing, and to see that make such testing a bit available, not to become an issue. It can be easily tested out quickly. And for man and woman involved in marriage, let us be truthful, let us be committed. Together, you can build a better society by believing in what you stand for. So thank you so much, and I pass the button to my brother Tony.
Yeah. Thank you, Austin, on that issue that you raised, which we have clearly discussed exhaustively. I want to introduce another issue, which is very, very telling, and is with regards to our beloved Edo State. On this program, I think in the last couple of episodes we've had, we have discussed this issue of security in Edo State. And just this morning, the issue of security in Edo took another dimension. So we cannot help but to talk about it today. We all know that in Nigeria, during elections, whether at state or federal level, even at local government levels, our politicians, in a desperate bid to win, they go at high level, dangerous level. They arm thugs, they arm so-called area boys with arms and ammunition to intimidate and maim people. That happened during elections. But during the last Edo election, despite all the hues and cry, we were lucky that we didn't have electoral violence as it used to be. Kudos to all the major actors. But be that as it may, we noticed in Edo State that while the NSAS protest was going on, when the protest was hijacked, the correctional center we have in Benin City, precisely at Oko, over 1,000 inmates escaped from that Oko prison. That is what most people know it to be, but it's now being referred to as a correctional center. They escaped, and which was a huge shock to most of us. During the NSAS protest as well, which was hijacked, by miscreants and hoodlums. Um, Police stations were attacked and arms and ammunition were carted away. All this happening at the end of the year, which is customary a time when the rate of crime is high in most states of Nigeria. You will agree with me that in the last 3 or 4 months, there has been numerous crime and kidnappings in Edo State, and the state government have been doing all it can to bring normalcy to our state. So, but this morning, we are hearing and reading of report that suspects who are under investigation, many of them this morning, they just strode away from the State Criminal Investigation Department, CID headquarters in Benin City. For those of us that grew up in Benin, we know that the CID station is one of the most secure that we have in the state. So how did this happen under the watchful eyes of security operatives? What actually is going on as far as security is concerned in Edo State? So, Comrade, I'm going to start with you. What is your take over this report that we got this morning?
You see, my brother, the issue of insecurity in Edo State is assuming an alarming, proportion. Alarming because at this morning I was on air. I did talk about it, and very extensive discourse on it. And I can tell you that I personally alleged that we can see the hand of a conspiracy in this matter. And of course, immediately after that program I had on air earlier today, I went, to further investigate what was happening. Okay, while I maintain that there's conspiracy somewhere, the laxity of the police, okay, was brought to bear in this process. Now, let me quickly break down some of the things I did talk about earlier in the day. First and foremost, just to correct an impression, the people who escaped, they are not just under investigation. They are convicted criminals. Convicted to be sent to prison. The police authority have worked hard with Edo people all across, providing useful information for the arrest and prosecution of these people. They have been prosecuted. Now, the issue that happened was that they were not in prisons in the various correctional centers in Edo State, because the prison authority had said that because of COVID-19, okay, every prisoner, okay, should have undergone the COVID test and test negative before they are brought to join the others in prison. And so these guys were actually under the watch of the CIDs, okay, before they had their COVID swab on the 31st. Okay, so they were just waiting for the result of their COVID swab, you understand, to know who and who has tested negative before they transfer them to Oko or to whatever center they want to take them to. So, in the course of all of this, some human being amongst the policemen left their own the prison gate, or rather the detention gate in the CID, left it partially locked or unlocked, as it were, while the policemen were having fun, enjoying New Year, celebrating the New Year and all of that, probably deliberately. Okay, the information we gather is that these guys opened the door. They did not break anything. They opened up. They walked out. And how they walked out of the CID unit, unnoticed, and they just left. I did ask, how many are we talking about? That number could not have been. The person giving the information told me that he was not allowed to do that at the time he was giving me the information, because they expect the police to give official report of this, later this evening and all of that. This is exactly what happened. So, my brother, it's unfortunate. And some, elements who are in opposition to the governor of Edo State, they're already catching on it to try to smear the governor of Edo State. Somebody called to my live program earlier today, and the person was saying a lot of things. He was a supporter of Obaseki, and with this happening right now, and I told him straight blank, I said, This is exactly how they want to make you feel, and that is why this whole thing is being perpetuated, to make the people lose support for the government of Edo State. But for those who are right thinking, they will know that it is now more than ever before that we need to support the Edo State governor even more. The reason is very clear. Those who are perpetuating this heinous crime around Edo State right now, okay, they have a purpose, and the only purpose they have is to ensure that they bring down the government of Governor Obaseki. And of course, I want to tell you that the governor of Edo State, from what we know, is doing his best to consolidate the structures, the security structures in Edo State. Unfortunately, the federal government of Nigeria, the constitution of Nigeria, is a huge problem right now. It's a retrogressive constitution right now, security-wise, to Nigeria. Because as we speak right now, personally, I have indicted the commissioner of police that, for as far as I'm concerned, with those two things that have happened under his watch, you understand what I'm saying now? The man has outlived his usefulness in Edo State, okay, and all that. So we are waiting, and what we have been told is that some of the policemen, at the moment have been, detained, and investigation is ongoing to find out how this happened. So my brother, it is a case of, for me, it's a case of the voice of Esau and the hand of Jacob that we are experiencing in Benin right now with Nigerian police force in Benin City. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, comrades, for your wonderful contribution on the state of security in Edo State. I just want to add to what you have said before I go to my brother Austin. Our society in Nigeria is such that mediocres run the show. The way we celebrate mediocrity to high heavens is appalling. For instance, it was only in Edo State that a correctional center, which is the prison, that over 1,000 inmates they escaped during the NSAS under the eyes of a police commissioner. Now it's only in Edo State again we are having this, like you said, convicted criminals just taking a walk out of the state CID station. And this same commissioner, we know, has been promoted to the rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police. So we just celebrate, we celebrate all this mediocrity. So that is the situation where we find ourselves. So my brother Austin, Comrade has said quite a lot. What is your own opinion on this very, very sad development that has happened in Edo State?
Thank you so much, my brother Tony. In fact, when I first heard today from Comrade, I was in shock. It's really surprising. When I was growing up in Benin, if we are fortunate to go to Staple Road around that corner, you dare not go that way because it's heavily fortified. So I am perplexed, I am surprised, and in my days in SUG, I would say I'm semi-astonished as what has happened this morning, that criminals of that level who have been convicted will just walk out without anybody noticing them. Like Comrade said, with the analysis of Esau and Jacob, one cannot take that out. This again draws me back to a simple question you never asked, but I have to say it again. This is where restructuring is becoming very, very hard. Remember, the governor of the state is not in control of the police. You have emphasized that over and over again. And until that change, we may just be having skirmishes of this because sabotage will continue to exist. Sadly enough, in our presidential speech for the new year, there was no mention at all of restructuring. It's quite pathetic and it's shameful. Let us wait and see what the police report would say about this. And probably maybe the state governor is going to make some announcement about this as well. But we need to get our hearts together. We need to be committed to the development and governance in our state. I would also use this opportunity to appeal to people, especially those residents. We have to come together to support the current leadership so that we can help our state to stand in a better place. Sabotage and for to move forward will always be there. But if we stand united, things will get better. It's a source of worry, it's a source of concern, but I encourage all of us not to be forlorn. I believe in the course of today, maybe today or tomorrow, the governor will let us know what the true situation is. And those, we are unique in every ways, but please let our uniqueness always stand in the right of positivity. Just my immediate reaction.
Thank you, Austin, for your contribution. We just want to wrap this up before we go to another issue. What I have to say is not really very different from what you guys have said. But I want to know,
please, Dr. Agbos, just before you wrap up, may I just drop a hint? May I just drop a point? Today, I spoke with somebody earlier today, I spoke with a few persons, but one person made some huge sense to me. And I'm talking of Jefferson Uworie Esquire. I'm very sure I'm trying, by the grace of God, to bring him on one-on-one to this to the Comrade show next week. And some points he made, valid points. You know, you established in your opening that during the NSAS protest, over 1,900 inmates, escaped from the Oko prisons, and of course the Sapele Road Correctional Center. Okay, today only a handful of them have been caught. Now what he opened my eyes to, which I'm going to share with the public, to tell you that the police, we need to really hold the police responsible for what is happening in those states. Now, the reason why this is becoming what it is. Can we hear me? My phone just went haywire. Uncontrollable. Now, the reason why the point he made to me made sense was that before criminals go to prison, they are processed by the police. A file is raised for their case. Like proof of evidence is there, and part of the proof of evidence is the case against them. They are photographed. There are so many every information bordering on that case, and to what extent they themselves participated in that case. All of these things put together, they are in that file. The file will be with the police department. The court will have file. There's nobody in the prison that was not convicted by the court. And nobody goes to court without the police, you understand what I'm saying now, taking the case to court. So these processes abide. Now everybody in the prison, has a file. They have their pictures in their files. They have everything linking them to the case against them. Here in the UK, I don't know, I've never had a situation where there was a prison escapee, case as it were, or things like that. I've never seen that. But things that look like that, when they happen, one of the first things you do you see within 24 hours is that the picture of the person being looked for is displayed everywhere. The picture of the person being looked for is on display. Sometimes they place a bounty. So if you know where we can use information to get these people, please let us know. As we speak, it's been months since the prison break in Edo State. Yet the police have not released any pictures of any of the prisoners to the public. They have not released any information concerning the prisoners to the general public to say this is a face, that is a face. And some of these people who escaped the prison, they are living in Edo State there. They are living with neighbors, Edo indigenes all around. So what is happening? Why is the police not giving us useful information that we help the investigation to rearrest these people? Why? This is what obtains everywhere. When terrorists they bomb a place or they attempt to bomb a place, and immediately they lay their hands on their pictures, the first thing authorities do all over the world, in the Western world, is to release their photo, so that people who see them can easily just notify authorities, say, man, this person who did this picture, he did somewhere. So I am challenging from the comment show that right now, for those that escape the Oko prisons and the Supply Correctional Center, and of course those that have escaped the CID, this thing right now, we want their pictures displayed. And those people want to see who they are, and want to know the crime against them. Publish it. Let me hold a picture. Let everybody just hold a picture. Let us begin to look at our faces and see who has escaped from the prison amongst us, so we can make appropriate report, as it were. If we are true to ourselves, these are the areas where I said, if you want to look for the eye of an animal, you have to go to the head. The head in this case is the police, the Nigerian police force. So we are calling, are challenging Kukumu right now, the Commissioner of Police in Edo State, to release the photos of all of these escapees. Because we have been beating around. And my eyes were open to this today, and I said, yes, why are we not insisting on this? This is the core of the matter. It is not in the hands of the governor, it is not in the hands of it is the hand of the Commissioner of Police and the entire police apparatus of the Nigerian state. We are people that have been convicted by the court. They are in prison. Now they have escaped. No problem. Probably happens because of the laxity. Release their pictures to the public. Let us know them. Let us see them. We from the comment show, we have said earlier this morning, we are standing by it, that anybody who's able to provide a useful information that will lead to the conviction of anybody who's a criminal, alleged to be a criminal, the person who provided information through the comment show, we owe that person 20,000 naira. As soon as conviction is made, with regards to any case reported through us, we will pay 20,000 naira. That's our commitment. And we challenge that everyone who wants Edo State to grow to equally show a similar gesture. Let us encourage the people who want to provide information, because we have equally acknowledged that it's important. Security is not a cheap business, like somebody earlier said today. Let us contribute towards this aspect. You understand what I'm saying? Let us challenge our people. Provide useful information. If that information yield result, we pay, from the commission we pay you 20,000 naira. It's our commitment, but you will not be revealed. Okay? We can assure everybody on that. So my brother, Dr. Tony, over to you. That's what I actually wanted to, point I wanted to make right now.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Lante, for your interjection. Very good one at that. Like you said, let me just because we have another issue to talk about. Security is a local thing, and like we all know, we all growing up in Benin. We used to hear it on radio jingle. I'm robber, no be ghost, na person like you and me. So these people are living amongst us, they are around, and the Nigerian police force, Edo State, they need to wake up from their slumber, and because definitely they are accomplice in what is going on now, even with the Oko prison break that happened during the NSAS. We can't go on like this. They have to fulfill their primary responsibility, which is to secure life and property. I think your interjection is very well situated, and I agree completely to what you have said. Austin, I can see you blinking there. Yeah, I'll just give you like 1 or 2 minutes to add 1 or 2 things so that we proceed to the next issue. You have something you want to add?
Nothing much to add, but just to advise Edo to be vigilant, especially at this time.
Thank you very much, Austin. So, Comrade, we'll hand the baton to you on the topic you want to introduce.
Well, mine is not really, a big thing per se. I just want to update Edo people, because again, the issue of insecurity in Edo State right now, is further laying credence to, what we are doing. We had actually started the Light Up Edo State, program. By the grace of God, we are glad that those are keen into the project itself. And I want to just alert us that that project is ongoing. Of course, we've had a New Year break, and I want to re-emphasize that by the grace of God, in the course of this week that we have entered today, we are going to be working a couple of places. You understand what I'm saying? And for security reasons, I'd like to keep the details of that. However, in the course of the job, when the installation will be going on, I hope to be live with the, the facilitators on the ground, the volunteers of the Comrade Show, our engineer who is installing the project, or the engineers doing the project, and all of us. We're going to be live to broadcast this whole thing. And I want to equally express my gratitude to all Edo people who have keyed into this project. Many more who have called in to say they want to key into the project. I want to express my gratitude to you. This is not the Comrade Show project, as it were. It's our collective project. There's a sister who called from the US, I think, and she told me that Lamte, we are going to join you, to identify these areas, as it were. And she herself has made a lot of contributions towards that direction, and all that. I just want to thank her as well. And so, what we are doing with this project is to identify areas that we consider as hotspots. And by the grace of God, when we identify them, we equally determine the number of lights to be placed in these hotspots, that have been identified. And then we solicit support for these things to be done. As I speak with you, there are so many areas that we have already identified, and we are working towards that direction to see how we can make these lights provided. By the grace of God, we probably will be installing up to 40 street lights in the course of this week alone, as it were. And so I'd like to say that everybody who can support should support. For those who may want to have more information on this matter, inbox us. We'll let you know. I'll just play a sound bite now from a volunteer of the Comrade Show who went somewhere today to have an assessment look of the place, take an assessment tour with our engineer of the place. Just take a listen. This is how we work, just for people to have a feel of how we are doing what we are doing.
Hey everyone, Comrade Amorge is my name on behalf of Comrade Show. We're actually here at Mandilas Enoge Street by Sapler Road to assess the street lighting, solar street lighting project we are about to embark on this week, which has we've already gotten a donation of 26 street lights, to be mounted around this area by this week. So we are here with the engineer to go around and finally do the pegging, so that by the time we come next week, it will just be to install. Once again, I want to say thank you to the donor, and kudos to the Comrade Show for putting this project together. God bless.
So they have actually been to 2 different sites today, and by the grace of God, on Tuesday and on Wednesday, they are going to be working in these different sites. One is going to be at Otubu area, and the other site is going to be at somewhere around the Sapler Road. And it's very likely too they will be walking somewhere off Uselu Lagos Road this week. The reason why I have to say this is because people are already putting these are our own efforts, helping to provide street lights, in Benin. For those, a lot of people have come and said, "What is government doing?" I want to tell everybody that, look, from what we know, the government has an extensive plan to light up the major areas in Edo State, not just everywhere across Edo State. As a matter of fact, put together, it's going to be up to about 40 kilometers, that the government is going to be, providing street lighting. As a matter of fact, what some of us are trying to do now, based on suggestions we are getting right now, is that we probably are going to suggest, if it's possible, for what the government's plan is, for them to equally, provide, security cameras. The government did talk about that as well, but we want to be very extensive, so that, they can see some things that are happening and all that. But I want to say, suffice to state, that what we are doing from the Comrade Show, okay, is actually to support not the government of Edo State, but to support the people of Edo State, to support ourselves as a people. I make bold to say this because for us, it's been a long time coming. And we are very sure that some of these programs have been on ground, for just the last 3 or 4 years. Probably today, Edo State would have been fully under some light, as it were, and all that. And probably all that would have helped equally to curb the level of insecurity we are having right now. So what we are doing, that's why I'm saying it is not our project per se. It is your project. It is the people's project. Because the lights we are doing right now, for some of us who are part of the community show, it's only very few lights that we have donated. It is Edo people who are donating this light. And so therefore, to that extent, and when you donate a light to us, you become a light angel. And by the grace of God, we are going to be doing an understanding program for our light angels, as it were. You become a light angel. And what we do, by way of giving our accounts to you, is that we are able to tell you where your light is. Because when you don't give us a light or two, your name will be inscribed on that light, on a notice attached to that light, to be seen day and night. I'm just going to show you an example of what that looks like. This just like this. I constantly make an example with this. The Comrade Show project donated by Omori Anthony Ajibola in this case. Omori Anthony Ajibola's light is around Umelu, off St. Saviour Road, between St. Saviour and Upper Sakomba, at Street in the well, whether it's 200 Street or so, I don't know. I can't remember precisely, except I checked the books and all that. So this man could actually send somebody there to go and verify. So it is the same thing. So every light we are putting, somebody donated the light, and the person's name is written against the light. So when we come out here and say, man, your light is on so and so street, you can send people to go and verify the light, okay, and all that. So to that extent, this project is your own. And what we are doing, like, my volunteer I just showed you just now, they went to this area, they are going to fix lights. You understand what I'm saying now? In the course of next week, the first thing they have done is to go and meet the people in the area, let them know what is happening, and equally let them know that they own the lights. Now, for those who may want to know to what extent we are going with this, we have a very strong MOU with our own engineer, in that this price is not going to change for the next 1 year. Actually, the original price for fixing these lights was actually over 60,000 naira, but we reached a negotiation to that effect that should be given to us like this, okay? So it's not going to change for the next 1 year. That's our MOU. Now, apart from that, am I getting a call? We are getting a call. Let me take this caller. Hello, sir. Hello. Ogbe Sana, sir. You are live. You are live, but the whole world is listening to you.
Pardon?
I said the whole world is listening to you because we are live.
Oh, sorry. I thought, because I was watching it, I thought it was a replay. Sorry. My name is Imweti. I'm calling from Dublin.
God bless you, sir.
Just to add what some two callers have said. You see that gate? That gate will be cheaper because Jakode did that in Lagos. When Lagos was hot.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. You excuse me, sir. You are referring to the previous program. So when I finish, I'll give you a call, sir. I'll ring you back. Yes, I'll ring you back. Thank you so much. It's actually referring to the previous broadcast I made. So like I was saying, just to give an update of this lighting matter, the price of this thing, 45,000 naira, is not going to change for the next 1 year. And of course, for the next 1 year, this light will be maintained by us, by the engineers. So which means that whatever happens, the neighbors, wherever the lights are placed, we need to reach us so that we can get the engineer to go there and fix it at the end of the day. So we have that 1 year guarantee. After that, we can renegotiate the guarantee, subsequently and all of that. And we'll continue, to make sure that the maintenance is kept ongoing, as it were. So that's our own, the way we feel that we can galvanize our people to see how we can contribute from wherever we are. It is not a diaspora, a dose in the diaspora program. Is for all Edos, whether you are home, you are in Nigeria, or you are in Africa, or you are in Europe, or wherever you are. And it's not for everybody. It's for those who have the means, who believe in the project, okay, so that we don't talk too much. If you can, you believe in the project, and you have the means to be part of the project, then I am talking to you. But if not, don't just worry, just waka pass, okay? We'll continue what we are doing. But to those that have supported, pledged to support and everything, we thank you. And for those who are there, who are looking and believe that they can be part of the project, please take your phone, let us know, ring us. You understand what I'm saying now? Show your interest and all of that, and let us keep on pushing. As I speak with you right now, those have donated lights enough for us to work next week and even the coming week and all that. The program is lighting up Edo State together. Okay, we at the Comrade Show, we are only doing our best using what we have, the platform we have, to galvanize support for this project. And so far so good, we are already lighting up Edo State. So on that note, my people, I don't know, I want to quickly bring on Agbons. Dr. Tony Agbons, what will be your take on this particular subject matter, sir?
Yeah, Comrade Lante, thank you very much. I want to first of all thank you for initiating this project on behalf of the Comrade Show. I buy in as well. I want to thank all Edo sons and daughters who have keyed into this project as light angels. Thank you. Big thanks to the engineers and our volunteers in Benin City who have been, sacrificing their time to make sure that they get on with this project, and they even give us the visuals. I've been following your program during the weeks before now, and I see that work is really going on. So I want to join you to also reiterate that this is not a state government activity. This initiative is from the Comrade Show, and we ask that those sons and daughters all over the world to key in to light up areas of our state. Like you have said, and I also agree, where there is light, darkness runs away. And some of the things that people do in the dark, they will not be able to do them. So, thank you to everyone who have given and those who have pledged to donate 1 light, 2 light, 5 light, 10 light. And I'm looking at our platform. People are asking what is the price. 1 light is 45,000 naira. So you can buy 1, you can buy 2 as you are led to do, according to your capacity as well. So again, thank you to everyone who have keyed into this project. Together, we will surely move our state forward. That is what I have to say.
Thank you very much, sir. I will quickly just go on to Pharmacist Austin Remira. Pharmacist, you are a light angel yourself. So tell us, what's your take?
Thank you.
Have you verified your light? Have you gone to find out where your light is? I've told you before, your light is at Umelu.
Yes, my light has been verified. Thank you so much, Comrade Lante. Thank you for the initiative. Thank you, those, for rising up to this challenge. The commitment is for us to light up Edo State and to support the government in whatever their plans are. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank Tony enough. I can't even thank our volunteers enough. That gentleman you showed just now, his face has become a recurrent decimal. He has been helping out. God bless him. I encourage those. Be part of this. This is a simple project, yet very important, and it's highly verifiable. Thank you, Edos.
Thank you very much, sir. So on that note, for those who may want the account, first there are 2 ways we make payments. You either just go online, thecomradeshow.com. I want to display the link directly. www.thecomradeshow.com/light-up-Benin-course, okay, or just go to the Comrade Show. Then you see the Comrade courses. Click on the Comrade courses. You will read about everything you want to know about this lighting project, and of course you may even watch some videos regarding it and stuff like that. And of course, you can pay online. But if you want an account, just drop just drop a message on the comment section, and of course we will respond to you to send you an account. And anybody who is paying, like we always say, as soon as you pay, let us quickly, WhatsApp your receipt of payment to us so that we can quickly update our, our roster so that we can quickly, program when we are going to be, delivering your light and where it is going to be delivered. Again, there are some persons who have called to say, Comrade, can you go and light up my street? We welcome that. I want to provide 5 lights, 6 lights, 8 lights, 10 lights for my street. They give us the address. We want to go there. You understand what I'm saying now? However, we are saying, before you ask us to go and light up your street, please at least donate one to us, because we have some target areas already that we want to provide lights in. And so if we keep on lighting people's streets, which is very good, which we encourage as well, we equally want to be moving afloat with the areas we already program. And if you don't donate lights to us, we cannot satisfy the areas we have programmed already. And I want to thank that group, the group that called us to say they want to light up their community in Uromi. Please put yourself together. We are up to it. The same other group who called us to say they want to light up Okada community. Please put yourselves together. We are up to it. But I want to specifically thank, the members, the leadership and members of the Edo Dynasty worldwide who have equally contributed lights as some lights as organization to support this project as collaborators as well. And so we are getting different organizations come up to collaborate in their 5 light donation, 10 lights donation, and all of that, And some are even helping us to identify some areas they consider hotspots that we need to give a consideration to. And so we have a lot of work to do in this regard. And we are hoping and believing God that at some point we are going to look back and be proud of ourselves, all of us, because posterity will be there to vindicate us, to say, yes, we set out for this project, we all came together to do it, and by the grace of God, the dividends of this project, it's effective for all of us. Publicly, I personally want to appeal to the state government that the idea of putting gates on Edo streets all across, that idea is probably laudable. Okay? Putting gates so that we can have some small checkpoints on every of our streets, localized checkpoints. Before you drive into any adjoining street or any major road, let the gates be open for you to enter. Let them take your number. Let them know who you are that is coming in, so that when we have criminals operating anywhere in any major place, they probably may have a difficult time finding an escape route, because a lot of these places would have been locked down by gate, as it were. So that is a matter that we need to consider. We'll put in a proposal and hope that we send to the state government and for consideration. And if that can happen, and if it means we coming together to equally contribute towards that direction, I think that if it is something that we look into, I'm going to discuss with my team and look at, the possibility of this and how effective this may be. It may be something that we are going to join hands with various communities across Edo State to begin to do. You understand? So that we can better secure, our small communities, our small streets, and all of that, to make Edo State a more secure place for us. What we have right now, we have security emergency, and we are not going to wait for the government of Edo State to chart the course for us. We are all going to take the bull by the horns, and that is why we are considering having, from the Comrade Show, a security summit where we bring all of those together to discuss the way forward as far as security is concerned, and map our strategies on how we can contribute to secure our various environments. I am concerned about this because we are losing our young people. Our future right now is in doubt because of the number of young people who are dying, number of young people who are misguided, number of young people who need to do the right things, as it were. So my people, on that note, I want to bring on my brothers, the musketeers. I want to start with Dr. Tony Usakmama Agbons to just say hello and goodbye for now to the people. Dr. Agbons, sir.
Thank you very much, Comrade. Once again, our viewers, all followers of the Comrade Show, all our fans, I want to wish you a very happy and prosperous New Year 2021. I just want to also join us to map out our plans for the year. Like they always say, he who fails to plan is planning to fail. So as we all say Happy New Year, as we use big words, this year shall be my year of this, my year of that, let also know that we have to get our plan in place for us to be blessed. Once again, thank you for joining us today. It's our first program for this year on Comrade and Friends. Thank you all very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. That's Dr. Tony Agbons. Of course, I equally have my brother, pharmacist Austin Iremiram. Austin, please. The people want to hear your
Good
voice.
evening, my people. Good evening, my people. Once again, Happy New Year. I wish us the best of 2021. Let me reiterate again. COVID is real. Please wash your hands, maintain social distance, where possible, put on your face mask. Thank you so much, my people.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Austin Iremiram. May God bless you guys. So, my people, on that note, I don't have much to say anymore than to say, may God bless you all for the time you've taken to be with us. Please, if you are not yet a subscriber on YouTube of the Comrade Show, please subscribe to the Comrade Show to be part of this process with us. Of course, follow us on Facebook, like our page on Facebook. Let's get the numbers together because we are trying to use the Comrade Show to arouse our community and want everybody to be part of the process. Okay, that is if you like. If you don't, no problem, we respect that. But for those who may want to, of course, please don't hesitate to follow the Comrade Show, subscribe to the Comrade Show, and of course, like our page. On that note, my people, I want to say, may God bless you all. May God bless Edo State. May God bless the people of Edo State, and of course, may God bless the governor of Edo State. I must not fail to say, may God bless Nigeria and the people of Nigeria. My name is and will remain Comrade Lante Oriahi. Whenever it changes, I'm going to let you know. But for now, it's still the same. Bye for now, and God bless you.
Make Comrade Show with Comrade Lante Oriahi. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know.